Let's talk about it. Does he make your existence meaningful? I understand that you like him more than you can imagine. I completely understand that you want for him to be the one. But the all-important question that I want you to ask yourself when deciding who you pick as a romantic partner is the following question. Does this person make my existence meaningful? Let's get into it, my gorgeous soul. Do they make my existence meaningful? Now, according to my analytics, a large percentage of my gorgeous viewers are currently living through their early 20s up until their late 30s. And this is a time in our lives where a lot of us make the impactful decision of choosing a life partner. While we're extremely busy at work, trying to balance a social life, so stay healthy and fit, we are also tasked with somehow finding time to build a meaningful romantic relationship. And while I am definitely no love expert, I can, however, promise you that by the end of you watching this piece of content, you will see love from a completely new perspective that you hadn't considered ever before. This is going to blow your mind. And hopefully this will also help you to find the one while kissing less frogs in the process of finding your soulmate. So given that we are all busy, driven, dealing with life's ups and downs, I would say we can all agree on one trait that is highly desirable within a romantic partner. Can you guess what it is? Some of you may have guessed it, that highly desirable trait is security. The body has two main branches of the autonomic nervous system: the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system. When we feel secure, the parasympathetic system becomes far more active, leading to a state of relaxation and calm. And this activation helps slow the heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and facilitate digestion, which creates a restorative state where the body can recover and heal. Literally, from the time we are born, security is a make or break emotion in the human psyche. If you just look at an infant, put the infant in an unknown situation, with or without their mother being present, you will be able to observe a jarring difference in their confidence level and ease. When the mother is present, the infant doesn't cry and is willing to explore and understand new circumstances and meet new people. The infant is confident and willing to try out all of these unknowns. However, take away the mother, which is a representation of this feeling of security, and you will most likely begin to witness a lot of tears and any positive encouragement falling deaf on little infant ears. And a similar response is true for our adult relationships. When you feel secure, it feels like the world is your oyster, and you can conquer and accomplish virtually anything. Let's talk about it, you guys. Let's go deep. So let's just say on this side, you are feeling secure. And here we have got a lack of security. Short S. So when you're feeling secure, you feel grounded, you feel confident, and of course, at ease. When you're feeling secure, you're more willing to try things, pursue your dreams, and be creative. There are various studies that actually confirm that secure, long-term relationships lead to an increase in happiness. So better health as well as more financial stability is a result of feeling secure. However, what about the detrimental effects when there is a lack of security within the relationship closest to you? What if the person that you go to bed next to every single night makes you feel kind of unsure about how much they truly support you and how much they will actually be there in a time of need? When you're worried and afraid, it's much harder to be as focused and confident in life. Anxiety triggers the body's stress response. So let's look at the natural outcome of your emotions when there is a lack of security. So you're feeling anxiety, you're also feeling stressed and insecure. So since we know that anxiety triggers the body's stress response known as the fight or flight reaction, I want you to understand that this involves the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which preps the body to react to perceived threats. And your body's response to the anxiety of being in an unstable relationship consumes a lot of energy, as I'm sure you've noticed, which can lead to persistent fatigue and a general feeling of weakness. So even if you're not very physically active, the constant mental strain can be extremely exhausting. So as a logical result, it is safe to say that a lack of security in your romantic life is not only stressful and tiring, but it's actually taking away from your existence being as meaningful as it possibly could be. And yes, obviously your existence is meaningful whether you are in a great relationship or in a relationship that isn't as healthy for you. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point is that when you are spending your precious time and energy trying to cope with a toxic relationship and a toxic partner, because if it's making you feel unsafe, that means the relationship is knocking your body out of homeostasis, which means it's knocking your body and your nervous system out of balance. To me, that's a definition of a toxic relationship, but we all have our own opinions when it comes to that. So coming back to this, when you spend your time and energy dealing with this type of connection, you are taking away from your most valuable resources. You're taking them away from yourself. You're taking your resources away from your loved ones who actually care about you and your well-being. When you are stuck in fear and uncertainty, how on earth are you supposed to be able to turn your attention to all other aspects of life that actually make your existence meaningful? How are you supposed to do that? How is your attention ever going to get to the areas that are meaningful? For example, how can you focus on finishing writing that book you've always wanted to publish? Or how are you supposed to be able to focus on work tasks so you can get that next big promotion? How can you concentrate on the million tasks that need to be done when starting your own business if you're first and foremost stressed about what's going on in your romantic life? With a lack of security, how are you even able to look in the mirror each day and feel worthy if you wake up each day allowing another individual to strip away your feeling of safety? When you allow someone to have mental, physical, or energetic access to you who denies you of security, you are basically allowing them to diminish how meaningful that your existence actually is in this lifetime, or what it could have been. So, my beautiful ladies, gentlemen, jelly beans, and everybody in between, can you see how big of a deal it is whether this all-important trait of feeling safe is present within your relationships? Are you aware of this? Not to be dramatic, but because I can be a little dramatic, I'm going to share my recent thoughts with you on this. I was sitting on my fluffy white couch here in my living room in Zurich, and I was, of course, pondering life's great mysteries. I was thinking about what kind of video I could make that will really drive home how important it is for you to make an informed decision of who you get into a relationship with. I was literally thinking to myself how thankful I am that my previous relationships didn't continue and didn't work out, because looking in the mirror, I could see how much happier and more vibrant that I had become over the past 12 to 18 months of just being all by myself for the first time in my life. And I scrolled through some older photos of myself. I went through my camera roll when I was still in the relationship. Oh my God, that relationship was clearly not meant for me. I was shocked, completely unrecognizable. I literally sent it to my mom and my friends, my before and after. Truly shocking. My face was super puffy and I look like I have this deep depression and sadness behind my eyes, which I probably was kind of going through. So literally, even the existence of this channel right here is only thanks to my refusal to remain in any relationship that lacks basic security and clarity. Because when I was still sharing my energy with people who weren't able to provide that, to provide security, I was less confident in myself. My posture, my speech was highly affected by this. And through releasing them and focusing on the meaning of my existence, I have become so much more fulfilled, happy, beautiful, both internally and externally, as well as successful, more so than I could have ever been keeping an energy vampire by my side. Because that is exactly what a person who refuses or is unable to provide you with security does to you. They drain you of your life force and any basic tasks, such as even getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. All of a sudden, this becomes challenging to complete. When the basics of life are already a huge challenge, then how are you even going to accomplish your biggest dreams and desires when you have someone making those basic tasks already challenging? Yeah, this is all on the couch the other day, you guys. I took it a step further. So I imagine myself being at my own funeral, laying in my casket, and then there's basically another me, like a twin, that comes up to the casket during my funeral and looks at the me in the casket and says, you could have literally launched another successful YouTube channel. You could have become one of the most successful online course creators ever in the entire world. You could have published more books to help and inspire people. You could have made your dream of making music come true. But no, Casket Vanessa. Instead of focusing on keeping people in your life who help to make your existence more meaningful, you chose to worry about someone's dusty, crusty son who basically wasted the best years of your life and left you drained with absolutely nothing. And I know this sounds really harsh, you guys, but sometimes you have to just be real with yourself and you have to be hard on yourself, because this is no joke. This is your life. These are huge decisions. That was one of the moments in which I realized just how important it is for you to protect your peace and for you to never compromise on the basic building blocks of healthy relationships, because you're not just in a shitty relationship. Every area of your life is negatively affected by a lack of feeling secure. And I don't believe that there is a single person out here who is worth you sacrificing your emotional well-being as well as your physical health for. There is not one human on this planet that is worth you doing that. So, do you really want to know how your body reacts while you're in a toxic relationship? You're really ready for the truth? Like, you're not just going to click out of this video because it's getting uncomfortable. I swear some of you are going to bite the bullet after watching this video. Some dusty sons are going to get broken up with today. Just don't say that Vanessa told you to do it. I am simply laying out all the information for you to make informed decisions in your life. And you know, maybe you have experienced some of these symptoms or you are currently experiencing them. And if that is the case, I really do recommend that you speak to a physician. Seriously consider going separate ways from anyone who has this type of effect on you. All right, so the symptoms are as follows: muscle tension and pain. Constant anxiety can lead to tight or tense muscles, especially in areas like the neck, your shoulders, and your back. This tension can contribute to headaches, jaw pain from clenching too, or other forms of chronic pain. Digestive issues. The digestive system is closely connected to the brain, often referred to as the gut-brain axis. Anxiety can disrupt digestion, which leads to symptoms such as stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, or constipation. And this may also exacerbate conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, also known as IBS. Let's talk about the increase in your heart rate and the palpitations. Now, anxiety can cause the heart to beat faster than normal, leading to sensations of pounding or fluttering in the chest. In some cases, it may even feel like your heart is skipping a beat, which can be really painful and uncomfortable. Chronic stress. When anxiety is prolonged, the body remains in a state of chronic stress, which can lead to long-term health problems such as cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and a weakened immune function. Furthermore, hormonal imbalances, because the continuous release of stress hormones like cortisol can disrupt other hormone levels, which potentially lead to problems like weight gain, sleep disturbances, and changes in your appetite. And of course, your mental health. If not addressed, then ongoing anxiety due to lack of security can develop into more severe mental health issues, such as depression or panic disorder. It can also lead to social withdrawal and reduced quality of life. And the list goes on. Shocking, isn't it? Well, as a very wise woman who goes by the name of C. Aguilera once said, because if it wasn't for all of your torture, I wouldn't know how to be this way now and never back down. So I want to say thank you, because it makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, makes me that much wiser. So thanks for making me a fighter. So of course, this is not to glamorize toxic relationships. However, choosing between the option of allowing toxicity to stop you from living your best life or picking yourself up and being better and stronger from it. I mean, the fact that you are part of the soul tribe on here, on this channel, it already tells me that you are a fighter. And in case no one has told you this today, I am so proud of you. The goal and the purpose of all of my content is literally to have you feeling better, stronger, wiser once you have come in contact with my content. So I just want to reiterate something to you. No matter what you've been through, my gorgeous soul, you are a winner, baby. So now that we have established that you deserve security and you deserve to live a life that is so full and so meaningful, let's move on to the solution. Let's talk about how we will get you on track again. And I also just want to emphasize that from here on out, this video is only for people who are either willing to leave, have left, or are prepared to consider leaving a partner who is toxic. If for whatever reason you are not ready to do so, or it's not safe for you to do so, then the next portion of the video may not apply to you. But I would still recommend that you watch the full length of it, because if and when you get to the point of putting your health and your sanity first, you might remember some of these lessons and insights. Now, firstly, I want you to understand that becoming someone with a more stable and secure kind of base vibration and attachment style is an ongoing journey. So take the pressure off of yourself. Breaking patterns of insecurity and fully trusting yourself takes time. Unlearning the comfort of the known is by definition uncomfortable. There is a lot of truth to the things that you know, even if they're painful, being a lot less scary than the things that you don't know. So here we've got the devil you know. And here we have the devil you don't know. And unfortunately, it's a lot more comfortable, even though you're dealing with a devil, to stay within the known, to stay with the devil you know, because that is often scarier than the devil that you don't know. But I promise and can assure you that the devil you know is not better than the devil that you don't know. And actually, as a whole, we are completely avoiding devils from here on out. Okay, no more of these. I want you to first get in your head that in a real relationship, both partners, two parties, should view it as their responsibility to ensure the other partner's emotional well-being. Please stop deluding yourself into feeling like, well, this is just a me problem, I need to be emotionally independent, or whatever kind of tale you're trying to tell yourself, because it is not solely a you problem. You deserve to experience a secure bond. If you do not have a partner that provides a secure base and is kind of like an emotional rock for you, from which you can derive encouragement, strength to go out into the world with and be the best version of yourself. If they cannot provide that or are unwilling to, they're most likely not for you. Your needs are valid and they are legitimate. and I will teach you how to attract someone who makes you feel more confident and gives you peace of mind. And it is important that every step of the way you remain true to your authentic self and that you don't fall back into compromising your basic needs just to keep another person in your life. It's not worth it. So, firstly, I want to say that your consciousness is the cause of your world. So here we have the conscious state, which equates to your experience of love. The conscious state that you tolerate determines the type of love life that you end up experiencing. Therefore, if you are not satisfied with the type of people that you are attracting as a potential life partner, let's make sure that we change that, starting with what matters most, which is you. And I want you to understand this mind-boggling concept. Every problem reveals its own solution. Let me explain this to you. For someone who is sick in hospital, they will automatically desire to be healthy, right? So health then is the sick person's solution. The problem reveals the solution. Now, in a relationship where you feel suffocated by the other person's emotional immaturity, that means that emotional intelligence and maturity then is the thing that is your solution. It's really that simple. Because knowing that emotional intelligence is what will set you completely free in life, you must place your focus on this desire and this desire only. You must understand with every cell of your body that being with someone who provides emotional maturity and emotional stability is the only way for you to experience the most meaningful expression of your life. And just on a little side note, I also want to add that your ancestors didn't fight this hard for you to just let your potential go to waste. So here we have the problem, which reveals its solution. So as we have already established, every problem reveals its own solution. And I want you to understand that the how of getting to the solution is where a lot of people get stuck. We start to ask ourselves how we will meet the one. We start to overanalyze and ask ourselves if the right person even exists, or if we're asking for too much. Please take both hands and throw all of that garbage out of the window right now. Not literally, but figuratively, of course. Don't throw trash out the window. Consider only the problem and the solution, which we both already figured out. So just consider these two portions. What I want you to do now is to turn your attention away from the problem. And as we have established, the problem is not feeling secure. And in this process, we're not denying the existence of this emotion, but we are simply extracting the life force out of it. We are draining insecurity of all of its power and energy. You unalive things by removing your attention from them. It's like if you're in an argument with someone who clearly enjoys arguing, if you just don't engage, they become powerless, right? And sooner or later, they move on, they look for another victim, another person who's going to give them the reaction that they were looking for. Begin to live in this fixed attitude of mind that your one and only job in this life is to realize and become the best version of yourself, which is the solution. Your one and only job is to make sure none of your greatness and none of your talent is left unused and on the table. Do not attempt to plan how you will express the best version of yourself. Simply focus on creating a stable environment, because you know that from that stable environment, the best you will naturally and automatically emerge when the time is right. And I just want to remind you, my gorgeous soul, it can take a few months of stabilizing yourself depending on how extensive your traumas are. It could even take years, honestly, from the time of which you eliminate any instability in your life to seeing the changes of now being the best you. I want you to be aware that changing your conscious state from fear, anxiety, to actually focusing only on the most stable version of yourself will make sure that the embodiment has no choice but to follow this shift in your consciousness. Your world is a beautiful gift that you continue to give yourself every single day. And the nature of this gift is determined by your quality of mind. And in this sense, your faith in yourself becomes your fortune. And I want to make sure that this really seeps into your system. Your faith equals your fortune. Always remember that your faith equals your fortune. Remember the infamous saying, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You having faith in yourself is equal to you living in the emotional state and the version of yourself that you desire to be. How would you feel if you were her? How would you feel if you were that person that you dream of being? And I actually do this exercise multiple times per day, especially when I'm feeling scattered or anytime I've gone through a breakup. And I have noticed how this exercise has become more and more powerful and potent the more I repeat it and the more I feel into it. So what I want you to start to do is that every time you have a negative thought about your current breakup or where you are in life, just basically anything that's stressing you out, every single time you catch yourself thinking this unhelpful thought, immediately redirect it to your desire. This is how you do it. So here we have a negative thought. And here we have a positive thought, also known as your desire. Put a little heart here because why not? All right, so over here we have a negative thought and here we have your positive thought. So let's say this person that you know is toxic to you pops into your mind, okay? You miss them, you want to see them, and you're feeling sad, and it's clearly not going to work out with them long term, which is making you even more sad. Now, that moment that you even think of them and see their face before your eyes, immediately envision yourself holding hands with a different person, okay? A person who represents safety and who is not them. Immediately go from your negative thought to your positive thought. This can be a fictitious person. I don't care if you make this out to be an actor that you really like. Just ensure that you do not allow for your consciousness to linger in the negative thought, but that you immediately redirect that to a positive thought, to what you desire. So in this case, immediately envision yourself coming back to a home where you always feel safe and you know what time your partner will be there. You know that you can count on them day in and day out. Immediately place yourself into your dream car. Envision the logo in the center of the steering wheel and your fingers around the steering wheel of your dream car. Literally, whatever it takes, whatever it is that you desire next and is easiest for you to envision. That's also why I added the example of the car, because sometimes it's easier to envision something material that you're engaging with. So it doesn't matter whether it's a person or a thing, just make sure you immediately redirect and place your focus on these goals and desires that bring you joy, that are the next steps in your life. When you do this, you begin to slowly starve the feeling of fear and instability until it is so malnourished that it fades away. It takes time and it takes practice, but trust me, you can get there. If I can, then so can you. I also highly recommend the use of the voice of your closest friend or envisioning an angel speaking to you. Like, imagine hearing a voice that's telling you how proud they are of you, and choosing only what's best for you is what they're so proud that you finally did. Imagine hearing that voice telling you how fortunate that you are, that all of your relationship and professional dreams have already come true. A lot of us are actually more receptive to the voices of loved ones than our own voices. That already tells you a lot about how we have been conditioned to care more about other people's opinions than our own, but that's another topic for another day and a completely different video. Just know that impressing upon your mind these words that you are safe, and that at the same time you are also free and you're accomplishing your wildest goals, that is going to self-impregnate your consciousness to birth to life what you actually desire. And my lovely soul, as you are the creator, I want you to remember that comes with the responsibility of preceding your creations. And at every waking moment, you are resurrecting or expressing what you are conscious of being. Remember that the world is a mirror which is telling you who you are. Make it the norm that the reflection you see is an image of you living in your most meaningful existence. Break out of the trance that your problems have had you in all this time. Sometimes we have to remember that there are some people whose existence does not serve a purpose for you at all, and it never will. And that's not to say that another person is worthless or worth less. It is learning to put yourself first. It is learning to realize that with such limited time that we have in this lifetime, you must only choose the best of the best people for you. You must only choose someone who makes your existence more meaningful, because they're either making your existence more meaningful or they are taking away from who you could have been. Remember my mega dramatic funeral example? That's what it circles back to. Remember that example? Your tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the month after that month and the year after year and decade. Your last moments, from now up until your last moment, all of it is an expression of what you choose for yourself today. So I want you to understand that it is easy to live a meaningful existence. It's not hard. Once you get into the flow of that being the focal point of your life, though, because our society has taught us to believe that somehow we must struggle to be mesmerizing and to be eternally successful and to live happily. But the truth is that your vision about your best life was given to you for a reason. Your vision is completely unique and attainable. Yes, it's once in a billion, and it was given to you to realize it. So basically, this is your savior. The vision of your dream life that was given to you is your personal savior, and we all have a different vision, so we will all have a different type of savior. And they say that the easiest thing in the world is to let your savior in. If this is the example, your savior is equal to your desire, that means that your desire is something that you are aware of. You are aware of it because you were conscious of it. And even though right now your desire for a healthy relationship might still be invisible, it does not mean that it will not be. It simply means that you have to continue to affirm it. It simply means that you must let your belief that you are deserving of a healthy relationship draw that relationship into your life. The consciousness of living 100% in the absolute most meaningful, confident, and creative version of yourself, that is what creates a love that will fulfill that same criteria. Living in what you define as meaningful, that creates more meaningful relationships in your life. You will begin to actually repel people who are not in alignment with their most meaningful existence, as you are no longer an energetic match for these types of individuals. You will start to repel the narcissists, you will start to repel the users, you will start to repel anyone who sees that you are not entertaining that kind of energetic frequency. The confidence too that will come and emerge with the decision of choosing above a soulmate, even above friends and family, choosing your purpose, choosing yourself, and choosing to live the most meaningful existence that you can, that is extremely powerful. And it will also instill more respect from others, as it is undeniable that you are unavailable for any unaligned connections. And if there is one lesson that I want you to take from this video, one monumental lesson, my gorgeous soul, then that would be to focus then that would be to focus on what truly feels meaningful to you and to begin to live every waking moment in a way that you define as meaningful. To always remember to choose those that support you in living your highest purpose. If they are not adding, they are subtracting. If it isn't growing, it's dying. If something isn't engaged in growth, it is slowly perishing. Make yourself proud, my gorgeous soul. You deserve it. I love you all so, so much, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next video. Bye, guys.